Chapter 1, Introduction. The Pons Plate at Chess themed restaurant in Bawan, Batangas occupies a 300 square meter single story building with modern architecture and spaces for 75 customers and 15 staff. Given the local hot, humid tropical climate and internal heat from kitchen equipment, lighting, and occupancy, the restaurant requires year-end mechanical cooling. A centralized chilled water HVAC system is proposed, featuring air-cooled chillers for FCUs, one DOAS unit, and 28 diffusers, designed to meet ASHRAE 62.1 standards. Ductwork and chilled water piping are sized for efficiency during MacWay software or using MacWay software with layouts drafted in AutoCAD. The system is tailored for energy efficient operation, ensuring optimal comfort and indoor air quality throughout the year.
And for now, for the building data, specifically for the areas, the facility is divided into various functional zones, each allocated with a specific area measurements and corresponding ventilation and air conditioning requirements. First, the main area, which has an area of 190.7 square meter, and the waiting area with an area of 38.6 square meter, are designated to be air conditioned using a fan coil unit or FCU, ensuring occupant comfort in these high traffic spaces. The remaining areas, including the toilet for male with an area of 6 square meters, the toilet for female also with 6 square meters, and the toilet for PWD with an area of 3.5 square meters, and the staff and the storage area with an area of 15.4 square meters, and lastly, the pantry area, which has an area of 4 square meters, are supplied with fresh air to the dedicated outdoor air system or DOAS to maintain indoor air quality.
Next, for the building data of the walls are classified into two types, each having a distinct purpose in the building's climate control and ventilation strategy. So first is the type 1 walls, which are the exterior walls, while the type 2 walls are the partition walls. First, the exterior wall is made of plaster, face brick, insulation, and heavy weight concrete. So this material is 310 millimeters thick and have an overall U value of 0.622 watt per meter squared Kelvin. Then the composition of the partition wall is made of layers of gypsum board, two layers of gypsum board with airspace, and one layer of concrete block. It has a total thickness of 182 mm and an overall U value of 1.12 watt per meter squared Kelvin.
And for the another building data, we have the roof. The roof is designed to minimize heat transfer, ensuring improved thermal performance and energy efficiency for the building envelope. It is composed of multiple layers, including concrete hollow blocks, polyester, polyisocyanurate insulation, a polyethylene vapor barrier, and galvanized steel, along with allowances for both inside and outside surface resistances. With this, the total thickness of the roof build-up is approximately 304.26 mm with an overall U value of 0.140 watt per square meter K Kelvin, indicating a highly insulated system.
Next, for the building data of the windows, the dining and waiting area uses dark double fiber transparent glass. Each set has 4 panels with each panel about 1 meter wide and 2.5 meters tall, perfect for creating wide open glass spaces. Compared to single glass, this double glass provides better insulation. It is 6 millimeter thick and has a U value of 4.64 watt per meter squared Kelvin. We also have tinted glass for restrooms and pantry. First, in the men's and women's restrooms, movable awning windows help bring in natural light and improve the airflow. This setup helps keep the space fresh and hygienic, and the glass is used in the restroom is 5 millimeter thick with a U value of 4.65 watt per meter squared Kelvin. Next, the pantry also uses a similar awning window, but with a layered design. It has two 5 millimeter glass panes separated by a 2 millimeter air gap, making it 12 millimeter thick in total. This version has a higher U value of 6.15 watt per meter squared Kelvin. Lastly, the kitchen uses a double-glazed sliding window made with insulated glass to meet ventilation and food safety standards. It's framed with UPVC-coated aluminum, which is easy to clean and resists moisture and food debris. The window has two 6 millimeter glass panes with a 12 millimeter air gap in between and has a U value of 4.62 watt per meter squared Kelvin.
Moving on, let's talk about the building data for the doors. The doors in the building design serve both as a functional and aesthetic roles, contributing to access control, ventilation, insulation, and the overall architectural character. This section presents the two types of doors that we use in our design, namely the glass sliding door at the restaurant's main entrance and the wooden door in the pantry area. First one, we have the glass sliding door, which comprises of a two layers of tempered glass with a PVB insulator in between for safety and thermal resistance. It has a thickness of 12 mm and a U value of 3.7722 watts per meter squared Kelvin. Meanwhile, the wooden door is composed of a solid hardwood, ensuring thermal separation between the cooled and the uncooled areas of our design. It is 50 millimeters thick and has a U value of 2.1277 watts per meter squared Kelvin.
For the chapter 3, we will talk about the design calculations where we summarize the cooling load calculations. For the first one, we will discuss the external cooling load for the external concrete wall. So the table presents the total exterior wall load and its comparison with the corresponding HAP or the early analysis program data. Based on the manual computations, the total heat gain from all external walls of the restaurant is approximately 827.20 watts. So this value accounts for the solar heat gain and the conduction through the north, south, east, and west facing walls, taking into consideration their orientation, surface area, and material properties, and also the climate's impact during the hottest month. When compared to the HAP software output, which estimated the load at 855 watts, the difference is minimal at 27.81 watts, showing a high level of accuracy in the manual calculations. So the next table shows the total roof load and its comparison to the HAP data. In the manual calculation, the total heat gain through the roof is 588.28 watts. This load is primarily due to the solar radiation absorbed by the roof surface and conducted into the interior area, especially significant in a tropical climate with high solar exposure. According to HAP software, the roof load is slightly lower at 563 watts, with a difference of 25.8 watts between the two calculations. So this variation is well within acceptable limits, confirming that the roof insulation and the construction materials are effective in reducing the solar heat gain, and the HVAC system is appropriately sized to handle it.
Moving on to the glass load under the external load, another important factor is the total heat load from the windows. This is much higher than that from the walls and roof because of the restaurant's large glass areas. Manual calculations show the windows contribute around 9,087.64 watts of cooling load based on both solar heat gain and thermal transfer through the glass. This closely matches the HAP software results.
Next, for our partition load, the table showing the total partition wall load illustrates the heat gain between conditioned and unconditioned interior spaces, such as the kitchen and storage area. Manual computation yielded a total of 447.30 watts based on the U values of interior partition walls and doors, along with the temperature difference between spaces. The HAP result is slightly higher at 458 watts, showing approximately 10.70 watt difference. Next, for the infiltration load. Infiltration load table captures the heat gain due to uncontrolled air entering the building through gaps, doors, and other openings. This is divided into sensible and latent heat gains, calculated from air exchange rates, temperature difference, and humidity ratio. The manual computation yielded a total load of 2,502.30 watts, while the HAP data yielded 2,530 watts with a load difference of 27.70 watts. Next, for the ventilation load. The table represents the ventilation load, which refers to the cooling demanded associated with introducing fresh outdoor air into the indoor environment to maintain indoor air quality. As required by ASHRAE Standard 62.1, this load is especially important in a restaurant setting where high occupancy and food preparation activities can degrade the quality without adequate ventilation. The manual calculation yielded a total ventilation airflow rate of 554.96 liters per second, while the HAP software produced a slightly lower total ventilation load of 544 liters per second, with a 10.98 liters per second difference.
Now moving on to the o- total occupant load and observation. This table focuses on the load from occupants derived from the heat released by 75 customers and 15 employees occupying the restaurant during peak hours. The manual calculation estimated a total occupant load of 7,464 watts using standard heat gain values per person based on the activity levels. In comparison, the HAP software output was slightly higher at 7,978 watts, showing a difference of 514 watts.
Now let us proceed with the internal cooling load, specifically the internal lighting load. This table covers the lighting load, which includes the heat gains from both the overhead and the task lighting used throughout the restaurant. Using the lighting power densities and the correction factors such as the cooling load factor, the manual calculation yielded a total lighting load of 1,305.13 watts. On the other hand, the HAP software estimated a slightly higher value, which accounts to almost 1,325 watts, with only about 19.86 watt difference.
So next is the total miscellaneous load and its observation. So this table summarizes the miscellaneous equipment load, which accounts for the heat generated by various kitchen appliances and electrical devices essential to restaurant operations. So this includes ovens, refrigerators, freezers, coffee makers, etc., and other cooking and storage equipment, so many of which operate continuously or at high intensity. So the manual calculation resulted in a total miscellaneous load of 7,077.57 watts, reflecting the substantial internal heat gain from these sources. So the hub software calculated a slightly higher load of 7,123 watts with a difference of 45.43 watts.
Now for the total heat load per air-conditioned space. This table presents the total heat load calculated for each conditioned space within the building. This data reflects the combined effects of internal and external heat gains, including conduction and solar heat through walls, roofs, windows, and partitions, infiltrations of outside air, heat generated by occupants, lighting fixtures, and miscellaneous equipment. Understanding the distribution of these heat loads is essential for designing efficient HVAC systems and ensuring optimal comfort conditions in each space.
For the next chapter, we have HVAC system design and equipment selection. First is the psychrometric analysis. Psychrometric analysis looks at the temperature, humidity, and other air properties to help design HVAC systems that keep indoor spaces comfortable. Using a psychrometric chart, the air processes or FC1 on a typical July afternoon in Bawan, Batangas was mapped out. Hot and humid outdoor air at 34 degrees Celsius mixes with return air to bring down its temperature and moisture. It then passes through a cooling coil and drops to 14.5 degrees Celsius after being slightly warmed. It enters the room at 25 degrees Celsius with balanced humidity.
And now, proceeding to the equipment selection, in selecting HVAC equipment like carrier fan coil units or FCUs, key factors such as airflow rate, sensible load, and a total load are considered to ensure each unit meets or exceeds the space's cooling requirements. When a single unit isn't sufficient, multiple units are used. The equipment selection table includes tag numbers, designated spaces, and load data from HAP collections to guide proper sizing. For example, FCU 01 handles a total load of 40 kilowatts, aligning with the HAP results. In the main area, three FCUs provide combined airflow above the required 2,309 liter per second, allowing flexibility for system losses and future demand. Each carrier 38 kV MT30N 718 unit delivers 10.5 kilowatts cooling. Using 3 unit covers 31.5 kilowatts, closely matching the 31.83 kilowatts required. A fourth unit in the waiting area covers a 4.9 kilowatt load, staying within its capacity. This approach ensures efficient, properly scaled cooling for each zone.
Now for the summary discussion on limitation and recommendations in Chapter 6. The air conditioning system, FCU1, uses a variable air volume or VAV setup and serves a 229.3 square meter space. Peak cooling occurs in July at 4 p.m. with a total coil load of 125.9 kilowatts and sensible load of 104.3 kilowatts, driven by high internal gains from equipment, lighting, solar heat, and occupancy. Zone 1, which includes the main dining and waiting areas, has a peak load of 35 kilowatts, with the main area contributing 28.4 kilowatts due to its larger size and equipment use. Airflow is 7,253 liters per second or 31.63 liters per second per meter squared, ensuring effective cooling and sensible heat ratio of 0.828 highlights the system focus on removing heat rather than moisture. Supply air is cooled to 12.8 degrees Celsius to maintain a room temperature of 24.7 degrees Celsius with outdoor air ventilation at 575 liters per second, meeting indoor air quality standards. A reheat coil load of 15.3 kilowatts supports humidity control during part load conditions. The system efficiently dehumidifies with a coil bypass factor of 0.10, maintaining indoor humidity at 45%. Simulation confirms the system is correctly sized without unnecessary oversizing. Though fan energy usage was not fully modeled and may require further analysis, overall the design meets comfort, energy, and ventilation needs for the restaurant's specific climate and usage.
Now for a discussion of choices. A variable air volume or VAV system using a packaged vertical or PKG Verth unit was selected for the pond split to ensure energy efficiency and flexibility in a restaurant setting with fluctuating occupancy and equipment use. VAV allows airflow to adjust based on demand, saving energy during off-peak times. Detailed simulations using HOP accounted for peak cooling in July and the minimal heating in December, using accurate inputs for lighting, occupancy, and equipment loads to reflect real conditions. All condition spaces were grouped into a single zone for simplicity, matching the open layout and ensuring uniform temperature control. The system maintains a constant supply air temperature of 12.8 degrees Celsius and delivers over 7,000 liters per second of airflow, following ASHRAE standards for comfort in tropical climates like Bawan.
Now let us have the limitations of the study. While the simulation provides valuable insights, several limitations affect its efficacy and accuracy in the real-world application. It assumes the ideal performance of the HVAC components and does not account the issues like fouling, wearing, and leakage, which can reduce the efficiency. Internal loads such as the equipment use and the occupancy were treated as static, which may not reflect the varying conditions of the busy restaurant, especially during the peak times. Additionally, the fan energy consumption was not accurately modeled, limiting the assessment of the energy use and the potential savings. Heating performance was minimally addressed due to the mild local climate, possibly overlooking needs during the unexpected cold periods. And finally, using the single thermal zone simplifies the model but may miss temperature variations caused by different window exposures or the localized heat zones. Thus, future improvements could include dynamic load modeling, detailed fan energy analysis, and a multi-zone simulation for a more realistic result.
So in conclusion, the air conditioning system designed for the Ponce Plate restaurant delivers a balance of comfort, energy efficiency, and reliability, tailored specifically to the demands of the tropical climate and a dynamic dining environment. Through the careful load analysis, thoughtful equipment selection, and smart design strategies, the system ensures optimal indoor air quality and thermal comfort for both customers and staffs. Thank you for your attention, and we welcome any questions or feedback you may have.
Okay, yeah. So thank you group 1. So before mag-start po yung question, so gusto ko muna i-commend yung group 1 for yan doon sa paper nyo, so napakita nyo yung professional structure ng inyong report, and very detailed po yung documentation natin, lalo yung paggamit po ng ating mga industry software like yung HAP tsaka yung AutoCAD. Okay, however, so meron po tayong mga minor revisions na kailangan pong gawin. So di ba yung design po natin is yung total area po is 300 square meter, tama po ba? 300?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, and 4 na FCU or 4 na fan coil units yung gagamitin. And meron po tayong dedicated na out or yung DOAS or dedicated outdoor air system. So dito, yung napansin ko lang so pwede bang ma-present yung mismong paper natin? Yung sinabit nyo. So ayan. Okay, so punta po tayo sa page 8 ng ating PDF. Ay, nawala. Yung page 8 ng PDF mismo. Ay, lampas. 30 na yan. Ayan. So, dito sa page 8, ano yung pinaka na mazuzumaba ng konti? Sa page 8. Yan. So, ang pinropose niyo po dito, okay? So, ang pinropose niyo po dito is centralized chilled water system. So, tama ba? Okay? So, kumbaga lang siya dun sa kasi based dun sa HAP report nyo sa page 91, ang ginamit nyo pong system is package vertical, tama ba? With anong type yan? And so pakibago na lang kasi sa page 8 ang nakalagay sa inyo is ang gagamitin nyo is centralized chilled water system. So medyo confusing lang din 'yun. Okay? And dito naman po sa sa page 91 din. So check po natin yung total cooling load natin. So ano po yung total cooling load natin? So ilang yan? So 125.9, tama? Kilowatts. Yan. And so kung babalikan po natin yung chapter 4, nasan ba yung chapter 4 nyo? Sa equipment selection. So nasan po yung chapter 4? So anong page yun? Ayan, so ayan, sige, lampas na sa taas. Sa page, yan. So, yung inyong ginamit lang po ay, pwede nyo ma-zoom doon sa total hit natin. Load. So, parang 10.5 lang bawat isang FCU. Tama ba? So, ang total yan ay, anong total yan? So, almost 42 lang. Ayan. So, bakit? So, para may 90 kilowatts po na discrepancy dun sa mismong total load ng nasa simulation natin. So, bakit po yan? May discrepancy. So, kita nyo ba? Yung total load do bawat isang FCU is 10.5 lang.
Yes po, sir. But ang mistake po dyan ay ang nai-attach po namin na result po nung hap ay yung una po namin ginawa, which is yung may mali po dun sa parameters po namin. Kaya po super laki ng load po namin.
Okay. So, dapat ay mga nasa 40 lang.
Yes po.
Sige. Pero kumbaga may copy na kayo nun.
Yes po. Meron na po.
Sige. So, bali i-attach na lang, no? Para sa kasi yung revision ng papel nyo, so ang pasa naman niya is this week. So hanggang, I think yung upload ng grades is na-extend hanggang August 8 yata o ano. Yan. So, babaguhin na lang po natin. Kasi medyo malaki yung difference. Okay? And punta po tayo sa page number 16. So, may nakita lang ako dun sa U value natin. Page 16. Ayan. So, ang ginamit yung U ng exterior wall is, di ba nakalagay dyan ay 0.622. Tama ba? Yung naka-state. Pero pagdating dun sa paragraph natin, may kumapansin nyo, yung propose nyo is 0.433. Alin dyan yung ginamit nyo talaga? Yung 0.62 or 0.433? Ay, ano ba yun? 435 pala.
0.622 po.
Okay, so papalitan na lang.
Papalitan na lang po.
Okay, so saan galing to? Itong value na to?
Yan po ay ang proposed po namin na wall po nung una ay medyo makapal po siya for restaurant. Tapos pinaltan po namin yung thickness, kaya po naging mas lumaki po yung yung U value po.
Okay. So so yan. So bali ang final yung is 0.622 na.
Yes po. Yun din po yung gamit naming value sa calculation po namin.
Ayun, so konti na lang ba ng papalitan. Okay. Tapos napansin ko din dun sa mismong 'di ba in-include naman yung pinaka catalog or specification ng inyong nung inyong pinaka anong unit na napili niyo? LG, tama ba? So catalog.
Bali carrier po sa FCU.
Ay dun
LG
sa
po sa DOAS po.
Sa DOAS. Kaso lang medyo sa page 81 medyo malabo siya. So tama. O sa akin medyo malabo. So baka may mas malinaw kayo na copy. Kasi para hindi mabasa sa akin eh. Nababasa ba dyan? Sa inyo?
Parang hindi nga po sir. Dahil ang itsura po kasi niyan ay
Maliit
tayo
lang.
na lang po namin, parang super laki po nung picture. Kaya kapag pinipili po yung maliit na area ay parang super crop.
Nakakrop siya.
Opo.
Okay. Sige, baka naman magagawa ng paraan lang. Kasi mahalaga din yung makita natin yung model number no ginamit nyo. Pati yung capacity. Tsaka yung performance nung mismong daw sa nyo, ginamit nyo na unit. Okay. Kaya may question lang ako. So, sino po yung nakapa-assign sa sa mismong pagka-calculate po ng heat gain ng occupants? So, sino pong nag-calculate?
Ako po, sir.
Okay. So, sige, pa-explain nga, anong difference po nung heat gain ng staff at saka nung customers? So, bakit magkaiba yung kanyang
Sige po. Wait ko na lang po dun sa paper. Bali, ang mga naging factor po namin ay, ang una po ay kung ilang hours po nag-i-stay yung staffs and customer po sa loob po ng restaurant po namin. Bale, ang sa staff po ay, ang assume po namin ay all throughout the operation po ay nasa loob po siya ng restaurant. Then for customers naman po ay ang maximum po namin ay 2 hours po ang stay nila kada enter po nila or entry po nila sa restaurant. Kaya po medyo nagbago po yung
Hit gain.
heat gain po nila.
Okay, so mas mataas yung nakita ko dito, nasa 185 watts yung sa staff nyo. Ayun. Pero siya naman ay naka-base dun sa handbook. Hindi naman yung gawa lang, parang ni-ratio. Hindi niya
Yes po.
ni-ratio lang.
Nasa yun pong table po na
Na binigay.
pin-provide nyo po.
Okay, sige. Kasi baka akala ko ni-ratio nyo lang to, depende sa ayun. So yun lang naman. So yung other nyo, so compare dun sa mga nag-present na group, so very detailed. Ano naman yung inyong mga AutoCAD? So pag sinabit nyo po yan ngayong so kindly include na lang po yung mismong AutoCAD file para ma-verify ko, kasi baka na kayo yung gumawa. Pero yun lang, minor changes lang naman dun sa paper nyo yung kailangan. Yan. So yun muna sa akin. Ayan, so baka may question po si Sir Kenneth.
Hello everyone. Narinig niyo ba ako?
Yes po sir, good afternoon po.
Ayan. So pwede kayo mag-unshare. Ako na lang mag-share para mas mabilis tayo. Yan. So sa akin, minor revision lang din kasi sobrang detailed nga yung papers nyo. And ayun, medyo commended din kayo dito sa inyong CAD kasi meron siyang detailed layout. And then, ang kulang lang is yan. So, anahin natin. So, sa presentation nyo, pasin ko kanina, meron kayong mechanical plan. Ayun, hindi lang siya included dito. Kanina ko pa hinahanap, hindi ko makita.
Sir, bali yung mechanical plan po ay nilagay na po namin sa chapter 5. Since ang chapter 5 po ay talagang yung ducting and piping plans, hindi doon na po namin in-include. Para hindi din po repetitive sa appendix, ay nandun na po yung 4. Yung mechanical po, yung ducting, yung equipment, and the piping po.
Nasa chapter 5 na siya.
Yes po.
Sige, tignan natin. Ayan, so andito yung nyo. Ayan. Ayan, so ang kulang nyo dito is yung inyong schedule. So yun lang. Yung nilagay nyo dito sa page 54, yan, ito to. Yan, so itong equipment schedule nyo. So malito kanina, sabi ni Sir Jan nyo. Kumbaga hindi updated. So itong equipment schedule nyo is need yung i-plot yan dito sa loob ng mechanical plan layout. So syempre, meron naman kayong ito, kung i-zoom natin, meron kayong equipment scheduling. So meron kayong D1, D3. So ang kulang lang is yung equipment schedule. So bakit kailangan natin ng equipment schedule? So syempre, pagka tinignan natin yung plan natin sa industry, so dapat pagtingin natin sa plan natin, included na tong inyong equipment schedule. So halimbawa, itong FCU1 natin, so alin ba siya dyan dito sa mechanical natin, plan natin, So syempre, para alam din natin yung location, kung ano bang location nun, and then syempre yung specs nung kada equipment, So another example,
Bali for that po ay siguro po ay talagang nung in-scale down na po para magkasya sa paper ay super lumiit na. Doon nakalagay po doon sa mismong CAD. Siguro ay tingnan na lang po sa CAD file na isasabit na din po namin. Dahil dyan po ay para magkasya po sa A3, nakakasya po doon sa short bond na provided po for the paper ay talagang nag-scale down po lahat ng text. Ay doon nakalagay naman po sa amin. Double check na lang po namin kapag nag-submit na po ng CAD.
Ayan, okay. And then, ayun. So, dito din sa inyong, so balik tayo sa ano nyo, sa plan nyo, no? Yan. So, syempre sa plan natin, dapat naka-indicate dito kung ano yung mga nakalagay, kung ano yung details niya. Ano? So, syempre ito, reflected ceiling plan. Ano ba yung reflected ceiling plan? Kumbaga dapat may template kayo nung nakalagay dito sa ilalim. Ano? Yung details niya. So, syempre, reflected ceiling plan. Ano ba yung nakalagay dito? Kung ito ay equipment ba, or ito ay architectural plans, electrical plans, mechanical plans, ano. And then, yon. So, itong inyong detailed, ano, so commended kayo dito. Kasi madalas ito ay sa industry na ginagawa, ano. Kaya medyo sus, na joke lang. Yan, so send nyo na lang kay Sir Jan yung file nyo para ma-verify din namin niya na kayo yung gumawa nitong ano. No. So, yun lang yung para sa akin. Yes po.
Sir, bali pa di po kaya kami magpa-double check ng mismong Catherine para at least makita po yung label na itsura. Tapos makita po kung kulang or minute pa po kami idagdag.
Ayan, pwede nyong isend. Pwede nyong isend ngayon para ma-verify.
Or i-share screen ko na lang po ng mabilis siguro po.
Ayan, pwede din.
Sige po. Bali, ayan po. Ganito po ang pagle-label na ginawa ko po. Ay, ipa-double check ko po. If may kulang po, okay na po ang gantong labels for piping, for sukat po ng ducts, at saka po ng mismo pagle-label ng equipment po.
Yan, okay naman siya, ano. Yun, so presentation pala ng plans, hindi naman necessarily na pag ipe-present mo siya sa ganitong paper is yung buong drawing, ano. So meron tayong tinatawag na blow up. So kada part, halimbawa, meron kang part na iba-blow up mo, ibig sabihin i-zoom mo, tapos yun lang yung part na ipapakita mo. Para yun yung pinaka mechanical detailed plan mo. Ano. So not necessarily na sa isang page, yung buong plano na yung ipapakita mo. Kasi nakita ko, sayang kasi yung yung layout mo, ang ganda ng ng drawing mo. So syempre, i-flex mo yun syempre as a designer, ilalagyan dapat i-blow up mo yun. Kasi katulad nun, ang sabi mo nga, nag-scaling kayo para mapakita na yung buong wafers, no? Eh, hindi nakita yung pinaka strength mo sa pagdi-design, So, syempre, i-flex mo yun. Lagyan mo siya ng blow-up plan, no? So, not necessarily naman na isang buong floor na yung ipapakita mo. Lagyan mo siya ng, yung part na to, halimbawa, room 1, no? Blow-up. Kasi yung ganda ng detailed yung plano mo, So, sayang yan. Pwede nyo include dito sa papers nyo. Yan. Yung schedule, pati nga pala ako ng schedule nyo. Andyan ba sa
Sir, bali schedule po ng alin mismo?
Yung yung katulad ng nasa page 54 nyo. Pwede nyo yung i-paste doon mismo sa sa yung pinaka-mechanical plan layout para ayun, alam nung titingin kung ano yung specs ng naka-indicate na code. So, halimbawa, di ba, ito, merong mga code dito na W2, D3, D1, So, yun lang naman.
Okay, ayan. Thank you, sir. So, add ko lang din pala for group number 1. So, na-mention din kasi sa project nyo, di ba, isa sa objective nyo is gumamit ng low GWP na refrigerant. Pero anong refrigerant yung ginamit nyo?
R410A po.
Ayan. So, medyo mataas pa yung kanyang yung GWP. So, pwede nyo i-consider yung mas sustainable na mga modern refrigerant like yung R32 or yung mga mas bago na hindi makakaano sa global warming. Pwede nyong ipalitan din. Okay?
Noted po.
So, bakit ba yun ang napili nyo? Or ba't yun yung nagamit yung refrigerant?
Bali sir, ang naging priority po dito ay yung cooling performance. Ay ang R410A daw po ang maganda po for cooling performance, especially for temperature control at saka po faster cooling. Also po ay mataas daw po ang efficiency po and nag-ooperate po sa higher pressure compared po sa ibang refrigerants na matanda na po tulad po ng R22.
Ayun, kaso nga lang, dun siya sa part naman ng bumaba. Pero yun, try nyo, baka may makahanap kayo refrigerant na yung needs nyo, tapos the same time, mas sa environment. Ayun, so yun lang naman. Again, so yun yung kailangan nyo ipasa sa class, again, so, yeah, gusto ko ulit i-comment ang group number 1. Kasi 'di ba nung time namin itong design project na to is almost isang sem. So 5 months. Pero ngayon is imagine nyo sa 2 months yan na yung nagawa yung output. Kaya so yeah, very good kayo sa Okay? Yan. So yun lang naman. So baka may other question po ba si Sir Kenneth?
Wala na akong question. Commended lang. Galing lang. Basta kumbaga yung papers niya is minor revisions lang, kompleto yung details, pati yung sa CAD. So yun lang, i-flex nyo, sa mga ganyan, i-flex nyo lahat yung mga strength nyo para makita ng iba, Kasi sa industry, ganyan talaga payabangan. Pagka kaya mong i-flex yung strength mo, mas maganda. So, gusto ng mga employer yun.
Okay, and malay nyo, matayo nyo yung restaurant in the near future. Kayo pala yung magkaka-business partner. Pag may mga work na kayo, saan to? Sa Bawan to, no? Ayan, baka makakalibre ng kain. Sige. So, wait lang. So, before we end pala, so, muna tayo? Picture muna. Ayan, kita ba? Okay. So, again, so, 1, 2, 3, ayan. Okay. Ayan. So again, thank you group 1. And bali ang next group po is group number 5. Bali muna kamo 1 PM na ang resume. So lunch break muna. Okay? Thank you. And pwede na po tayo mag-leave na meet. So gagawa na lang ang submission link class ng Okay, thank you.
Question po sir, kailan po kayo ang submission ng revision?
Within this week kasi siguro hanggang Friday. Kasi hanggang na lang submission ng grade. Okay?
Sige po sir, noted po. Thank you po.
Thank you. Ayan. So, pwede na po tayo mag-leave. So, pasabi na lang po ha. So, resume po tayo ng 1 PM po. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. Congrats.